Welcome to episode 43 of the Reality Podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells for all notifications. If I can sit here for a moment and give you guys some advice real fast. No, I'm not trying to be Lance Storm here. If I can give you guys some advice real fast, I would really appreciate it. Here's some advice if you are a wrestling fan. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the fucking kitchen. If you can't take the truth about what us smart fans tell you on a week-to-week basis on Raw and SmackDown, stay the fuck out of social media. If you can't accept reality, then step aside and let the big boys in this community do our jobs and critique the shows every single week. There is this guy on Twitter. I don't know if you guys know him or not. I mean, I highly doubt you guys know this guy. His name is WrestleFeatures on Twitter. WrestleFeatures on Twitter. He's a fucking idiot. Just know. There you go. He is one salty 500-pound fat slob who can't come out of his fucking mother's basement, who probably can't even get out of the fucking bed, of course, on a fucking daily basis. Hasn't even seen the light of day in his life, probably. Let me say this now to you people. If you people do not have a real picture of yourself on Twitter, your opinions don't matter. Your opinions, when it comes to wrestling, don't matter. Especially if you're those people who have fucking iconic fucking pictures on your fucking social media, or Alexa Bliss, or Roman Reigns, or fucking Baron fucking Corbin. Us smart people can't take people like you serious. Just can't. I apologize, but I'm just speaking the fucking truth. Now, there's this guy on Twitter called DRAD49, and as you see here, look at his fucking picture. You can't take this motherfucker serious. You just can't. Look at this guy. Anyways, he tweets out while I'm at fucking work, doesn't fucking at me or mention me on social media. He tweets at WrestleFeatures, don't worry about it. That guy, and look at his grammar, folks. Look at his grammar. Don't worry about it. That guy had his other account suspended and made a new one to continue to be an asshole. That's how you know this guy has that's how you know this guy has my cock and balls on his mouth. And can't even stop sucking. Dude, don't worry about me on social media. Do I have to tell you how I'm back on Twitter? No, I don't have to tell you shit. Who am I entitled? You are not even entitled at all to get an answer from me. I don't give a fuck who you are. From what the profile picture you have on your Twitter account, DRAD49 on Twitter. That's the letter D and RAD, R-A-D, 49 on Twitter. Nobody takes people like you serious. So believe me, bro, am I mad? No. I'm back on Twitter. Back better than ever, bitch. Stay mad, stay salty. You fucking piece of shit. Oh, and by the way, he tweets off of a fucking Android. Get an iPhone, dude. Get an iPhone. It is 2019. Get an iPhone. Oh, and then this guy, this gets worse and worse, people. Stupid Sexy Corbin. I kid you not. This is literally his Twitter. I kid you not. I kid you not, folks. I kid you not. Stupid Sexy Corbin on Twitter. And he tells me that he's a douche. Oh, and by the way, DRAD49, fix your fucking grammar. You fucking degenerate. Fix your fucking grammar. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out of the way because Storms told me that he blocked them, and I'm warning anybody here right now. I will tell you this right now. Block WrestleFeatures on Twitter. Block True North Grapes 2. That's True North GRAPS 2. The number 2 on Twitter. And block DRAD49. That's the letter D. Then RAD, RAD, 49 on Twitter. They're fucking degenerates. I wanted to point that out there. Anyways. So there you go. That's my advice for you guys, because there's people that hate on me and Storms and JD and everybody else on social media. It's because, we're not loving the product. Can I say this right now on behalf of every single smart fan in this community? People that I know that are in this community? Do we want to see World Wrestling Entertainment fail? No, we don't. Do we want to see AEW succeed? Yes. But you fucking idiots out there want AEW to suffer. I bet you are the same kinds of people that call AEW a t-shirt company. Yeah, a t-shirt company that sold out the Sears Center in less than 4 minutes. In less than 4 minutes. That is some t-shirt company there that's selling out a fucking 10,000, 12,000 seat arena in under 5 minutes. Got my attention. Got my attention. I don't know why people just hate on AEW. AEW has their first television show on Wednesday, October 2nd. What's there to hate about? AEW is the change that we all want World Wrestling Entertainment to have. Do we want World Wrestling Entertainment to be successful? Yes. Do we have to talk shit about the shows every single week? Yes. It's our right. It's our option. It's our option to talk shit about the shows every single week. Just look at Monday Night Raw Reunion, for example, for this past Monday. Raw Reunion this past Monday drew a 3.3 million rating. I wonder why. You didn't push to a SummerSlam. There was barely any wrestling there. The majority of the show this past Monday was 24/7 garbage and legends. The only thing I didn't mind on Raw Reunion was the ending with Stone Cold Steve Austin talking and doing a beer bash. That's typical Stone Cold that I will always love, and that I will take to the grave. I'm not gonna sit here and talk shit about Stone Cold Steve Austin. In my opinion, Stone Cold is one of the greatest of all time. He's in my top 10, of course. He's in my top 10. But I wonder why Raw drew a 3.3 rating this past Monday. It was because of the legends. SmackDown, I heard SmackDown drew around close to a 2.5 or 2.6 rating. I wonder why. SmackDown was pretty decent this past Tuesday. Pretty decent. SmackDown did a whole lot of a better job building towards SummerSlam than Monday Night Raw did. I know what side that I'm looking forward to when it comes to SummerSlam. Do I care about Brock and Rollins? No, I don't care. I don't care. Becky and Natalya, I can get behind it. I can get behind it. Now, the reason why Natalya is being put in a Raw Women's Championship match at SummerSlam because SummerSlam is in Toronto. SummerSlam is in Toronto. That's the only reason why Natalya is getting this championship match. Outside of that reason, who is legit enough on the Raw roster, on the Raw Women's division, to face Becky Lynch at SummerSlam? You can't put Sasha. We haven't seen Sasha since WrestleMania. And is she coming back? To be honest, I don't know. Do I miss Sasha? Yes, I do. I miss Sasha. And speaking of the women, this whole give women a chance hashtag was trending during this whole Raw Reunion show this past Monday. Can I ask why was it trending on Twitter? Can I just sit here and ask why? The simple fact that we got Ember Moon versus Charlotte in a 37-second match this past Tuesday on SmackDown was a spit in the face to everybody in the women's division that works their ass off and busts their ass. In my honest opinion, that 37-second match between Ember Moon and Charlotte this past Tuesday on SmackDown spat in the face of Ronda Rousey, who literally brought legitimacy to the women's division throughout the entire year that she was in the company for. It spat in the face of everybody else. Spat in the face of Lita, Trish, and everybody else that paved the way to what it is now, which is fucking garbage. The women's division has been garbage since WrestleMania, when Ronda left. When Ronda left, out came Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans, folks, is fucking garbage in the ring. Yeah, she can talk. Yeah, she can talk. She can do the talk, but she can't walk the walk. She can't. And the Iconics, my fucking God, don't get me fucking started with the fucking Iconics. At this point, and I pray to God every single day before I go to sleep, and I pray to God before I go to work every single time, I pray that the Iconics lose the Women's Tag Team Championship at some point in the near future. I hope so. I fucking hope so. The fact that this community defends people like Alexa Bliss, Roman Reigns, the Iconics, Alicia Fox, Jinder fucking Mahal, you're a fucking joke in this community. I don't give a fuck who I trigger. I don't give a fuck who I piss off. And the majority of you who's gonna watch this video is gonna tell me, oh, Chris, just speak your facts. This wrestling community sometimes can be a fucking joke. This wrestling community sometimes is filled with stupidity. DJ Storm said it at best every single time. If you defend those kinds of people like Roman Reigns, Alicia Fox, Alexa Bliss, the Iconics, and everybody else that we hate, you don't have the privileges that we have right now in this day of society. Now, I know TM is going to watch this video and say, Chris, what the fuck you talking about? Why are you mentioning the women, Chris? There is a report going around that the women can have the very first all-women SmackDown Live in November. This is no fucking joke. This is no fucking joke. This is no fucking joke. Now, I haven't found the report yet, but I'm hearing rumblings about it. I'll find it. If I find the report, I'll read it to you guys tomorrow for episode 44 of the Reality Podcast. But as of right now, that's what I'm hearing. That the women could have their very first all-women SmackDown Live show in November. The same day as the Saudi show on Friday, November 1st. So we're going to have two separate shows in one night. Guess what show I'm not covering? If this is true, or this is some form of being confirmed. Oh, and you thought that was bad. Wait till what we're going to see on Raw Monday night. Let me find this out. Let me find this. Because I tweeted this out on Twitter. I tweeted this out while I was at work and I was on break and stuff. And I fucking found it. This is according to the WWE Twitter account. Just announced as of 3:17 p.m. on Friday, which is yesterday. Seth Rollins will go one-on-one with Dolph Ziggler. How many times have we seen this matchup? Becky Lynch will square off against Alexa Bliss. And Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe look to squash their beef in a Samoan summit this Monday on Raw, as first reported by The Wrap. Christina said this at best. And Christina, girl, if you're watching, shout out to you, girl. Christina said this at best. And I found, if I can find what she said. I'm in the group chat right now. Let me see if I can find what she said. Christina said, horrible. I have officially lost interest in the Raw side of SummerSlam. Girl, I don't fucking blame you whatsoever. I don't. We already know that the Raw side of SummerSlam is going to look completely fucking terrible. And then when I go over the preview and predictions in just a couple of weeks, I think I'm going to cover it, I think on the same day as NXT TakeOver Toronto. So on August 10th, I'll give you guys my predictions on SummerSlam, or I like to say Scammer Slam. I know JD says Summer Scam, but I'm going to say this Scammer Slam. Has a nice little taste to it. But there you guys go. We're going to go over some news here today on episode 43 here of the Reality Podcast. If you guys don't know who I am your boy Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel on this Saturday, July 27th, 2019. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you like this Undertaker t-shirt that I got on fucking Access, this shirt is fucking bomb. I love this t-shirt. My favorite t-shirt next to my Tommaso Ciampa t-shirt, which you can't go wrong with, which you cannot go wrong with a Tommaso Ciampa t-shirt. You cannot go wrong with it. But if you guys love this Undertaker t-shirt, I want you guys to smash that like button down below. Leave a comment down below what you guys are thinking of SummerSlam. What are your opinions so far as we inch closer to not only SummerSlam, but NXT TakeOver Toronto. I want to hear your opinions on NXT TakeOver Toronto. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to show your support by hitting that subscribe button down below and turning on those bells for all notifications. Check out episode 42 of the Reality Podcast, which is uploaded yesterday on Friday. AEW set to make their television debut on TNT in October, and I asked Vincent Kenny McMahon this question: what's your next move, Vince? Link to episode 42 of the podcast will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right hand corner of the screen. And also, guys, show some love to Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel Road to Glory episode number 3 so far. My best video so far of the series. Hey, Dr. Neo Cortex, hold my beer, bro. Did you guys see Crash's domination in the Nitro Cup? My God. The last 2 races of that was fucking brutal. Brutal, but Crash managed to get first place in all 4 races. Meanwhile, there is no evolution of Crash now, and this series will now be based on Crash attempting to acquire other cups in the game. You guys will get episode 4 next week. If this video hits 8 to 10 likes, you guys will get episode 4 next week. Link to episode 3, however, will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right corner of your screen. Check out SmackDown Live review from this past Tuesday. A pretty decent SmackDown Live, if you ask me. A pretty decent SmackDown. SmackDown did a way better job building towards SummerSlam than Monday Night Raw did this past Monday. Kofi Kingston challenges Randy Orton at SummerSlam for the coveted WWE Championship. I gave you guys my opinions on that. Link to SmackDown Live review will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right hand corner of the screen. And also check out Monday Night Raw review, the Raw reunion show from this past Monday. The Fiend attacks Mick Foley. Was this the worst Monday Night Raw of 2019? Link to this video will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper right hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are connecting with your boy Chris on social media. Twitter, Chris from Loring, and Snapchat, Chris Most Hated. And like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content thus far, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turning on those bells for all notifications. Let's begin episode number 43 of the Reality Podcast right here on the channel. We're going to begin episode 43 of the Reality Podcast with this ridiculous article that I have here. The Prince of Saudi Arabia reportedly continues to request deceased WWE superstars. How disrespectful is this? Honestly, how disrespectful is this? Now, Saudi Arabia signed a 10-year contract with World Wrestling Entertainment, and that means they will be getting big shows from Vince McMahon's company twice a year. The next show is scheduled for Friday, November 1st this year, but not everyone that they are requesting will be able to come because they are no longer with us. God rest their souls. Brad Shepard reports that Saudi Arabia is continuing to request superstars to show up who are now sadly passed, or should I say dead. Those latest superstars include Eddie Guerrero, the Big Boss Man, as well as Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. Now, I think Brad Shepard did report this. He said this, and I quote, according to a source in WWE, the Saudis are continuing to ask the company to book dead wrestlers on their shows, obviously not realizing they're dead. The latest request, Eddie Guerrero, Big Boss Man, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Miss Elizabeth, end quote. The Saudis previously requested to have Yokozuna and other deceased World Wrestling Entertainment legends appear at their events. Sadly, World Wrestling Entertainment can't deliver on them, but they're going to continue to bring as many top stars to Saudi Arabia that they can in the meantime. When you hear this report, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? Does that make you pissed off? Does it make you feel sad in some type of way that you want to see these wrestlers just wrestle? If you was to ask me one superstar that I would love to bring back to life, I would bring back Owen Hart. If not Owen, then Eddie. If not Owen, then Eddie. I loved Owen Hart. I loved Eddie Guerrero back in my childhood. But the simple fact that the Saudis are reportedly continuing to request deceased superstars is a big disrespectful thing. At the same time, it shows you how much they don't care about the company. It pretty much shows you how much they don't care. So obviously, I find this very disrespectful. I mean, at least talk to Vince about it before anything. At least talk to Vince about it. But Vince should give the Saudis a list of who's not with us anymore. Who's no longer with us. Not as in like out of the company, but like deceased. Dead. Not with us anymore. Give the Saudis a list. And then you give them an active roster on who you want to put in your show. It doesn't sound quite hard of an idea to do, Vince. It really doesn't. What else do I have here? Oh, and actually, matter of fact, I found the report right here about the all-female SmackDown Live Special. So I'm gonna report that here. WWE could book an all-female SmackDown Live Special on Fox. Storms, if you're watching the podcast, please throw up. Whatever you guys are eating, whatever you guys are drinking, spit it out, or just drink it real fast, or eat it real quick before I read this report. You guys got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done? You good? Okay. World Wrestling Entertainment's relationship with Saudi Arabia is a very interesting situation. The company had enough faith that women will be allowed to wrestle at the Super Showdown event that they brought Natalya and Alexa Bliss along with them, even though we didn't see them on the show. They were denied by the Saudi government just hours before the show, but the two still got to take a very long trip in the process. The company's next Saudi Arabia event is currently scheduled for November 1st, as you guys know. This was a date that was switched around, but the company was able to change it back to the original date of November 1st after casting some European dates. The Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that hours after the next World Wrestling Entertainment event in Saudi Arabia, they have a live SmackDown schedule for Newark, New Jersey, at The Rock, at the Prudential Center. However, there is a very interesting idea that they could do in order to make things better with their female superstars and possibly assist in public precipitation that women aren't allowed to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. This is what the Wrestling Observer newsletter quoted. I think it's fucking Dave Meltzer, and I quote, "One way they could manage is promote the Friday show in Newark as an all-women SmackDown show." Give me a second because I'm gonna fucking throw up. That would at least take the place of the Evolution pay-per-view that for whatever reason isn't on the schedule this year. They could heavily promote it as an all-women SmackDown, the first time ever, and could use that to offset the obvious criticism of them running a Saudi Arabia doesn't allow the women to come. End quote. Wrestling Entertainment has a lot of superstars to provide, and proved that they don't put on another 50-man match in Saudi Arabia. They might have enough people to still run a regular episode of SmackDown on Fox. However, the idea of loading up a live episode of SmackDown with only women could also help things dramatically. Of course, this idea also presents another interesting dilemma, seeing how they might need to figure out a new announce team for this kind of special show, since their primary announcers include Renee Young will likely be in Saudi Arabia. How do you guys feel about that? If there was to be a all-women SmackDown show on Fox, would I watch it? In my honest opinion, no. I wouldn't watch it. Nor do I care. Nor do I care. Now, they could do this though. They could do this. But then again, you gotta ask yourself, as what the report said earlier, Evolution is not on the pay-per-view schedule for this year. I wonder why. Now, we all know why Evolution was on the pay-per-view schedule last year. It was because the women was not allowed to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. They weren't allowed to. That's why they made this Evolution pay-per-view, which was fucking garbage. Outside of fucking the finals of the Mae Young Classic and Becky Lynch versus Charlotte in that last women's standing match last year for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That match was fucking fantastic. Fantastic. But I wonder why they're not booking an Evolution pay-per-view again this year. Was it just a one-time thing? Because it's not on the fucking pay-per-view calendar this year. It's not. I wonder why. I really do. Now, the only way, now, even though they're going to put Ronda Rousey and possibly Shayna Baszler, which I'm hearing that Shayna could get called up after TakeOver Toronto, I have no idea if I would put Ronda and Shayna on that SmackDown show, on the all-female SmackDown show on Fox in November. I mean, even if those two women showed up there, would it make the show better? I don't know. Possibly. Possibly. I don't know. But let me guys know down below in the comment section, how would you guys feel about a all-female SmackDown show in November? We're going to go over this Jimmy Uso DUI arrest when I find the report here. Because I did find it here somewhere, somehow. Where is it? 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 There's an update on it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Jimmy Uso arrested on DUI charges. Now, before I read this report, I want to say this right now to all the adults out there who's 21 and over. If you're going to drink, if you're going to go out and drink, and you're not able to drive, please either get a Lyft or an Uber. What I recommend, an Uber. Because sometimes Lyft, sometimes they charge you and then they fucking cancel the fucking trip and then they still charge you. Take an Uber, please. Take a fucking Uber. have a designated driver with you. Because in case if you're drinking and you can't drive and that other driver is not drinking, that driver can drive you home. And then you pay for that driver, and then from there you go home. It's that simple. I do that all the time. If I'm out, if I'm drinking and I can't drive, I'm always going to have somebody that's able to drive with me. That way, you can leave your car around my place. That way you can park my car, I get home, and then you can take your car that's parked in my block. You can drive yourself home from there. Please, guys, if you guys are going to go out drinking, please drink responsibly. I've had people die. I've known people that died from car crashes and stuff, driving under the influence. I've known people that died, got into car accidents and stuff like that. Please, guys, drink responsibly, please. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress that enough. But Jimmy Uso was arrested on DUI charges again. Again, the first incident was back in, I believe in February when they were in Detroit, I believe. I think that was the first time. John Cena showed up at the Raw reunion this week and made a joke about Jimmy and Jey Uso's DUI arrests. How ironic that happened. And then on the exact same week, Jimmy gets arrested for a DUI charge. Now it looks like there is even more fodder for that comedic reference. It's not funny anymore now, isn't it? Really isn't. However, there really isn't anything funny about this situation at all. TMZ reports that Jimmy Uso was arrested on a DUI early this morning near Pensacola, Florida. Now, that wasn't really this morning. That was, I believe, the other day. Yeah, I believe that was the other day. Yeah, July 25th. So this was back on Thursday. Back on Thursday. This comes months after Uso was arrested for squaring up with a cop back in February. Details about the arrest are still a bit unclear at this time, but there is some information about the situation that's already come to light. Jimmy Uso was booked at 3:04 a.m. and charged with a DUI. It is not clear what his BAC was at the time of this arrest. Jimmy Uso, real name Jonathan Fatu, is actually still behind bars as of this writing. Now, there is a update on this. At this time, his bond is set at $1,000, which I heard that he already made bail. Now, we're going to go with the Jimmy Uso current location and court date review after the DUI arrest. Jimmy Uso was arrested early Thursday morning and charged with a DUI. Uso is still listed as in jail according to this listing as of this writing. That means nobody has processed his $1,000 bail yet. Now, there's an update on this. Jimmy Uso appears to have been released as of now. It appears that Jimmy Uso's court date is set for August 15, 2019, which is a Thursday. He is also not in an individual cell. If you look at the note tank at his location on the posting, it seems to indicate that Jimmy is currently being held in what some might refer to as a drunk tank. Depending on the facility, this could mean that he is currently sharing a cell with other people in the same situation. Or it could be the facility's term for their holding cell, which is usually not an individual situation either. We hope the best for this situation. Now, there is the update just came up here. Jimmy Uso, as you guys know, Jimmy Uso again was arrested on a DUI on the early hours of Thursday morning. Jail records now indicate that Jimmy Uso's incarceration status is listed to be released as of July 25th, 2019 at 10:15 a.m. He likely still has a court date set for August 15th as previously reported. WWE will also probably release a statement saying that Jonathan Fatu is responsible for his own actions. Hopefully, he will make safer decisions in the future. Now, I'm going to continue with this story, with this Jimmy Uso story. Jimmy Uso refused a field sobriety test before DUI arrest. Now, this is a stupid move if you're Jimmy Uso. This is a stupid, absolutely 110% stupid fucking move. Now, if the cop stops you, and you go and take a field sobriety test, take it. Because if you don't take it, it's going to be a bad situation on the long run. Believe me. So Jimmy Uso was arrested on DUI charge very early Thursday morning. The good news is that he is now out of incarceration status, but still can't be a good day for him considering how it started. TMZ now reports that Uso was speeding when a cop noticed him around 3 a.m. this morning. Well, that Thursday morning. He was also said to be driving erratically. Then once the police officer pulled him over, Uso reeked of alcohol and refused the police officer's request for his field sobriety test. That is not a good look and a terrible move to make if you're trying to get out of a DUI. This is what TMZ reported. We're told when the cop pulled the wrestler over, he reeked of alcohol. And when the officer tried to administer the DUI test on Uso, he refused. End quote. Jimmy Uso was then charged with a DUI, and the cop also gave him a speeding ticket for good measure. It should also be noted that the DUI was the reason why he had to spend some time behind bars that Thursday morning. At least Jimmy didn't get out to try to square up with a cop like he did back in Detroit when his wife, Naomi, was driving. And then, obviously, this was also issued on Thursday here. WWE issued statement about Jimmy Uso's arrest. Now, Jimmy Uso was arrested, obviously, if you guys know, again, on Thursday morning. The company set out a issue statement as expected. Wrestling Entertainment is going to let Jonathan Fatu deal with this with the consequences of his own actions. This is what the WWE said, and I quote, Jonathan Fatu is responsible for his own personal actions. End quote. Hopefully, this doesn't happen again. This is just another lesson that you should never drink and drive no matter what time of day or night it might be. Don't do anything stupid. That's what I'm going to say this right now. Don't do anything stupid because it might cost you on the long run. I've heard many stories about people driving under the influence and how people do stupid things when they're driving under the influence. There was a story that one of my bosses told me when I was doing the orientation for Yankee Stadium. There was a fan at MetLife Stadium that came out drunk, had too many beers, came out of MetLife Stadium, and instead of taking an Uber back home, he drove the car and he killed a family of 4. Meanwhile, he was driving under the influence. I know you guys probably heard about that story a long time ago. Their family also was suing MetLife Stadium for what happened. If you guys are driving out there, if you guys are out there driving, and you think you're gonna get lit, as in, drinking, turning up and stuff like that, not only drink responsibly, don't drink and drive at the same time. It's a bad look. Now, the company told Jonathan Fatu that he is responsible for his own personal actions. If they are booking the Usos to go up against the Revival again for the Raw Tag Team titles at SummerSlam, do not have the Usos win the Raw Tag Team titles. How stupid does this company look? If you have Jimmy and Jey Uso of the Usos, yes, I don't care if they're one of the best tag teams on the planet. I don't care. We all know that. They're the best tag team on the planet. We all know that. Do not reward people who've done stupid things. Jimmy Uso, instead of taking a fucking Uber or a Lyft back home, he does the stupid thing and drive under the influence. He could have died. He could have killed somebody. He could have injured himself and Naomi. Now I'm hearing rumblings that Jimmy's drinking is so bad to a point that Naomi might leave him. which I'm going to follow up on this report. Jimmy Uso's arrest reportedly causes big issues with his marriage to Naomi. Now, Brad Shepard reports that those in the company are concerned about Jimmy Uso's recent actions. This could also reportedly mean that he is risking losing it all, including his marriage. This is what Brad Shepard said, and I quote, "I'm told there's a concern that his behavior could cause them to lose everything, including his marriage to superstar Naomi," end quote. Hopefully, things aren't that bad and Jimmy and Naomi can work through this issue. However, this wasn't his first recent arrest. Naomi was thankfully driving in Detroit when she was pulled over for accidentally going the wrong way down a one-way street. This happened because Naomi wasn't familiar with Detroit's layout, but Jimmy Uso also hopped out of the car and tried to fight a police officer. If you punch a police officer, you're automatically in prison for 6 months. Automatically for 6 months. That's a 6-month charge. If you put your hands on a police officer in some way, shape, or form, you're going to get locked up for 6 months. That is the minimum right there. Jimmy needs help. I hope Jimmy gets some serious ass help, because Jimmy is too good to be laid off of TV. And I'm also hearing that Jimmy, with this recent arrest, could have the same treatment as Alicia Fox. And look how she turned out to be. Was never on television again. So not only Jimmy could possibly be out of television, he just fucked up the entire Uso tag team for getting a push for the Raw tag team titles, possibly at SummerSlam. So if they book the Usos versus the Revival again for the Raw tag team title at SummerSlam, expect the Revival to go over here. Expect the Revival here to go over at SummerSlam. Because if I'm running a fucking company and one of my guys or girls are being arrested under the influence and you're going to have a championship match, guess what? You're not winning. Because how would I look? And that would make me look real bad if I book you in a match and then you get arrested for something stupid and then I still book you to win a championship at a major pay-per-view. How stupid would I look there? I would look stupid. Because I would be the company that would be known as, hey, if you go to this company and you book for a championship match and you get in trouble with the law, you still get rewarded. No. That's not how I would operate my wrestling company. That's not how I would book things. So if you're going to book the Usos and the Revival for the Raw Tag Team titles, expect the Usos to lose that match to the Revival at SummerSlam. Expect it. Expect it. Vince McMahon. I'm just telling you. This should have been Vince, man. My God. Vince McMahon throws shade at AEW's content during investors call. Get a load of this crap. WWE has gotten a lot of attention recently by pushing the envelope of TVPG. This has received a lot of praise from fans, hoping the company might return to their previous TV-14 style. But during the second quarter investors call, Vince McMahon had a chance to address it. He also threw a little dig at AEW in the process. The Wrap reports that McMahon said that World Wrestling Entertainment will get a little edgier, but they will not be treated anywhere near the previous Attitude Era. World Wrestling Entertainment does plan to take things to another level, quote unquote, but they won't be getting raunchy. This is what the Wrap reported, and I quote, "We just haven't come anywhere close." Actually, well, this is what the Wrap reported, and I quote, "We just haven't come anywhere close. Actually, to going to another level. There will be something we do in terms of direction of content, more controversy, better storylines, etc., etc. But at the same time, we're not going to go back to the, quote, Attitude Era, and we're not going to do blood and guts and things of that nature, such as being done on perhaps a new competitor," end quote. Vince McMahon was referencing AEW with the second part of that remark. However, as Tony Khan previously stated, AEW's TNT television show won't feature the blood and danger that the pay-per-views that the pay-per-view events have that the pay-per-view events have, since those are special occasions. As Vince sees it, WWE has graduated from that gory crap anyway. This is what Vince said, and I quote, "We're not going to go back to that gory crap that we graduated from," end quote. Later on, McMahon commented on AEW again by saying, "I can't imagine TNT will put up with that," end quote. Vince, you're just setting yourself up. WWE's the WWE's big concern might not really be AEW, depending who you fucking talk to, because this quarter reflects numbers from a time before they even had a weekly television show. Now that All Elite Wrestling will be on TNT every Wednesday night, starting October 2nd, this could have an even bigger issue when the fourth quarter numbers roll around. Because even if AEW doesn't use a lot of gory crap on their show, it will still create a lot of buzz on the TNT's direction. Vince is technically saying that AEW's nothing but crap. AEW is going to go back to that Attitude Era. AEW is going to use that bloody, gory crap that we graduated from. Graduated? Graduated! Graduated is not even a fucking word that I would use for that statement. I would say passed by. Not graduated. Passed by, I would use. Vince, number one, is a fucking idiot. Number two, the only reason why we're seeing all these superstars lately, getting these pushes for no fucking reason, is because of a fucking agenda. Look at the fucking women, for example. Alexa Bliss. Charlotte Flair. Recently Natalia. Charlotte Flair. I said Charlotte. Lacey Evans. What do all those women have in common? Blonde hair, big tits, and a fat ass. And long legs, too. You cannot sit there and tell me that World Wrestling Entertainment is not agenda-based. Because it is. We have been seeing these same women since WrestleMania. How many times did Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans fight? 3 straight pay-per-views. Money in the Bank, Stomping Ground, and Extreme Rules. I wonder why Lacey Evans is not being booked for SummerSlam either. I wonder why. Look at Charlotte Flair. Her last name is Flair. She has blonde hair and big tits. I don't know about the fat ass department, but depending who you talk to. Lacey Evans. Don't get me started with Lacey Evans. Now, the only thing, I don't even know why I mentioned Natalia. The only reason why, and I said this earlier in the podcast, the reason why she's getting pushed for a women's championship match at SummerSlam is because SummerSlam is in her home country, in Toronto. There you go. What makes you think Trish Stratus? Well, I don't know if Trish has blonde hair or not, but depends how she looks between now and SummerSlam. But there you go. Trish, the reason why Trish and Charlotte is fighting at SummerSlam, the reason why Trish is being booked for this match at SummerSlam is because SummerSlam is in Trish's hometown. The last time Trish had a one-on-one match was back on 2006 Unforgiven in that very same arena against Lita for the Women's Championship, and Trish won on her final match. Now back to Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans, blonde hair, check. Decent amount of tits, check. Big booty, check. Vince gets a hard on when it comes to these blondes. What makes you think people like Sasha Banks is not getting pushed? What makes you think people like fucking Ruby Riott was not getting pushed? Amber Moon, Asuka, Kairi Sane. The list goes on and on. What makes you think why they're not getting pushed? Because of the blonde hair, big tits, and fat ass. Nobody can tell me otherwise on that. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Nobody will tell me otherwise. Do you even expect Natalya to win at SummerSlam? No. She'll come close, yeah. She'll come close, but she won't win it. Now with this Vince McMahon throwing shade on AEW, you got people like Seth Rollins, you got people like Roman Reigns saying, oh, AEW is no competition. I said this on the podcast yesterday. If AEW is no competition, why did you put Evolve on the same night as Fight for the Fallen? Why did you put NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff the same night as All Out? Why are you even putting NXT on Fox Sports 1? And I said this yesterday on the podcast. Vince shouldn't even have to worry about AEW. Let AEW do their own thing. The one man that should be competing with All Elite Wrestling is the guy that Cody Rhodes targeted for no apparent reason whatsoever when Cody did his Double or Nothing entrance. You know, with the sledgehammer, with the throne exploding. Let Triple H run the competition against AEW. And I bet you money Triple H will come out successful. I bet he would. Don't get me wrong. I love AEW. I want AEW to be successful. Yeah, sure. They got one of my favorites of all time in Chris Jericho in there. I love Kenny Omega. I love the Young Bucks. I love Cody Rhodes. Hangman Page I'm starting to love. Luchasaurus I'm starting to love also. MJF as well. Starting to love him as well. Let Triple H take the charge. Other than that, you have no chance against AEW. No chance. No chance. And Danielle was telling me, now, Danielle, if you're watching the podcast, shout out to you, girl. Danielle asked me a question on the Evolution of Wrestling group chat. She asks me, do you think AEW will be like WCW? No. As a matter of fact, AEW will fail if they was to be like WCW. I think if they was to turn into WCW, they would fail. In my honest opinion, they will fail. Because what WCW did was they let Eric Bischoff be creative. Eric Bischoff led the charge to the NWO. They led the entire charge to it. They had the NWO have creative freedom, which killed everything in WCW, which was literally the downfall of WCW. And also, Ted Turner was signing everybody that left Vince back then and came to WCW for more money and greater pastures. I still ask this question to this day. What if The Undertaker left Vince and went back to WCW? Mind you, WCW was the same company that told Taker, you'll never get over. So why would Taker go back to that company that told him that you'll never get over? That you'll never get over. I would want to see the demise of WCW, if you ask me. I would want to see them crumble. And they ended up crumbling in 2001 because Vince bought his competition. Vince bought his competition and he won the Monday Night Wars. Don't be surprised. Well, I'm not going to say this now because Tony Khan is the fucking genius. And I love Tony Khan. I love Tony Khan. Tony Khan is a big wrestling fan and he's one of the most respected people that I have ever even known. That I've ever known. But with this whole Vince throwing shade at AEW, it's just talk. Vince is all talk. What was Vince's recent change? The changing of the network, the update. People told me people legitimately told me that the update for the fucking network looks like fucking Netflix. Looks like Netflix. If you guys have not updated the network, update the network. Because I already did on my phone and on my Amazon Fire TV, and I gotta upload it. I gotta update it on my PS4. I gotta update it on my PS4 because I watch it on my PS4. I watch NXT on my PS4 while I watch YouTube and Hulu and stuff on my main TV. So there you go. I got a few more stories here before I go. How long am I on this? I'm 55 minutes into this. Jesus Christ. I will go over at least 2 more stories here before I get out. At least 2 more stories. I want to save us some more news for Sunday's podcast. Shawn Michaels' current plans for SummerSlam. Really? Okay. Shawn Michaels returned to World Wrestling Entertainment TV this week for 2 nights in a row. He was there on Raw Reunion and on SmackDown. He was at the Raw Reunion and then he turned around the next night to make an appearance on SmackDown Live. This seemed to hint that he could also have a score to settle at SummerSlam. Despite Dolph Ziggler and HBK having a very nice back and forth in the ring that ended with the showstopper taking a kick to the face, Dave Meltzer reported on the Wrestling Observer Radio that there's currently no plan for Shawn Michaels to work the big August 11 event known as SummerSlam. This is what Dave Meltzer reported, and I quote, "Shawn's not wrestling. People have been asking me, Shawn's not wrestling at SummerSlam," end quote. Plans can always change, but at this point, SummerSlam is coming up fast, so that's not likely in this case. Shawn Michaels seemed to be enjoying his retirement from active competition as he found a place in NXT. Good for him. Hopefully, this will build towards something notable, but don't expect to see Mr. WrestleMania compete at SummerSlam. Now, the back and forth that Shawn Michaels and The Miz and Dolph Ziggler had this Tuesday on SmackDown was one of the best things on SmackDown this past Tuesday. It was a fantastic Miz TV. Fantastic. Now, people were thinking, oh, are we going to see a tag team match with The Miz and Shawn Michaels against Dolph Ziggler and a partner of his choosing? Are we getting Dolph Ziggler and Shawn Michaels? If you was to ask me that question back then, when Shawn was just in retirement, you could have at least teased him to come back for just that one night, maybe at a WrestleMania or at a SummerSlam. Put him against Dolph Ziggler. Can you imagine a Shawn Michaels against 2013 Dolph Ziggler? Or 2016 Dolph Ziggler? With that feud against The Miz? You take that Dolph Ziggler? That 2016 Dolph Ziggler that had that feud with The Miz over the IC title, and you put him against Shawn Michaels? That's a classic, if you ask me. That's a classic. Shawn is in retirement. Dolph now is the fucking afterthought on the main roster. He's nothing but a fucking afterthought right now. Would you want to see a Dolph Ziggler versus Shawn Michaels match? Possibly in the near future. Now, who knows? They could book this match at the next Saudi show in November. They could book Dolph Ziggler versus Shawn Michaels, but at that point, who's gonna care? Are you gonna sit there and care? No. Am I gonna care about it? No. I'm not gonna care about it because it's forced. You're forcing Shawn to come out of retirement again to face Dolph Ziggler. Mind you, Dolph had a fucking statement there. Dolph had a point. He said, "Shawn, you should have stood retired after your match against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26. You should have stood retired." I cannot believe about to say this, but I agree with Dolph. Shawn should have stood retired after his match against Taker at WrestleMania 26. You should have stood retired. We all knew why Shawn came back for that one night at Saudi Arabia, at Crown Jewel last year. We know why Shawn came back. The blood money. I told you people, money will always talk. Money will do the loudest of talking. Believe me, I know. Believe me, I know. But Shawn Michaels' current plans at SummerSlam, according to Dave Meltzer, there is no plan for Shawn at SummerSlam. I'm gonna go with this one more report, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna save up the news for tomorrow. If there's any more news tomorrow, then I got you guys with the news for tomorrow. If I can find another report here, if I can really find, I think one caught my eye earlier. How long am I in this? Already an hour. My God, already an hour. I think I'll save this for tomorrow. I'll do this one right now. Cody Rhodes. There's news on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes thinks CM Punk is going back to WWE. Can I ask why CM Punk would even bother to go back to World Wrestling Entertainment? Why would Cody even think that? Come on. CM Punk has an open door with AEW, but it looks like he got more of an offer than he recently let on. He said that Cody sent him an offer via a text message. Rhodes might remember it differently. The American Nightmare recently took part in a Twitter Q&A where he was an open book for fans. During his open forum, he took a moment to address the statement that CM Punk made about the All Elite Wrestling offer that came his way. That doesn't change Cody Rhodes' opinion that he thinks CM Punk is going back to WWE. This is what Punk said, and I quote, "I think he was misquoted. I know one of us had met with him in person, and yes, I texted him plenty when we couldn't connect on the actual phone, but not a contracted offer. I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to WWE. Regardless, great wrestler and guy, door is open if he wants it." End quote. We just have to wait and see what happens between CM Punk and AEW. It might not result in anything, but at this point, things are getting interesting regards of whether he shows up in All Elite Wrestling. We all know CM Punk is going to be at StarCast on All Out Weekend. We all know he's going to be at StarCast. We all know. The one thing people are really asking is Punk going to show up for All Out? If I am a betting man, I am willing to put the house in that Punk will show up for All Out. I think he will. Either he signed with them and people are keeping it hush about it, or the simple fact that he's going to be at StarCast and then from there go home, because StarCast will be in Chicago, and after All Out he can just go home, fuck his wife, do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and just relax. And maybe watch All Out on pay-per-view the next day. Or I think it's StarCast the same day as All Out. I'm not too sure. Is it the same day as All Out? I'm not too sure. If you guys know about the day for StarCast, please leave it down in the comment section or tweet at me on Twitter. But this whole CM Punk situation, and I just hate seeing reports about it. People are talking about CM Punk here and there, here and there, here and there. Can we just leave CM Punk alone? If he wants to show up for All Out, he will show up for All Out. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. I don't know why people are still stressing about this whole CM Punk gonna be at StarCast. Oh, then that means he's gonna be fucking AEW. No one knows that. Maybe Cody had talked to Punk. Punk maybe signed a contract and they kept it hush-hush. And Cody's just trolling everybody else, you know, because that's Cody's job. Cody loves to fucking troll people, which I respect, because it commands your attention and it creates fucking a buzz all over the wrestling community. I don't blame Cody for it, but at the same time, let Punk do his thing. Leave Punk do his commentary thing for MMA. Let Punk just enjoy his life with AJ Lee and stuff like that. Leave Punk alone. And like I said, if I was a betting man, I would have CM Punk show up at All Out with a live microphone, just like he's going to have at StarCast. And at the same time, Let Punk talk about wrestling. Let Punk talk about, sports and his life and stuff like that. Oh, when is Punk gonna go back to wrestling? Is Punk gonna show up for fucking All Out? Is Punk gonna sign back with WWE? If Punk was to sign back with Wrestling Entertainment, he's signing his death wish. He is signing his death wish. Hell, I can see it right now. If CM Punk was to come back to WWE, the first match he's gonna have is with Roman fucking Reigns. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you. If Punk was to come back to Wrestling Entertainment, Vince would be the type of guy to feed him to either Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman. Or fuck that, Brock Lesnar. If you want to take it a more step further, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. If I'm Punk, just live your life. Do what you want to do. Show off to Blackhawk games. Show off the Cubs games. Live your life, bro. If Punk was to come back to wrestling, let him be. It's just that I don't see him signing with any other company than AEW. I don't see Punk coming back to Vince. I don't. From what I'm hearing, Punk still hates Vince. Punk still hates Triple H. And then that pipe bomb, everything that Punk said on that pipe bomb would fall into pieces if he comes back to World Wrestling Entertainment. That's my honest opinion. And that, folks, is the reality of things. And I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the podcast, leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you guys are thinking of the podcast so far. And what are your thoughts of this whole CM Punk situation, this whole Jimmy Uso situation, SummerSlam, NXT TakeOver Toronto? Sound off in the comment section. The comment section is yours. Anyways, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells for all notifications. Check out episode 42 of the podcast live on the channel right now. Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fuel, Road to Glory episode 3 live on the channel right now. SmackDown Live review as well, live on the channel right now. And also Monday Night Raw review as well. This is the official home of the Reality Podcast, so make sure you are connected with your boy Chris on social media. Twitter, Chris from Roaring, and Snapchat, Chris Most Hated. Like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells for notifications. If I have enough news, I will give you guys episode 44 tomorrow for Sunday, and then Monday night, I'll give you guys Raw, and then I'll go back to work Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I'm off Thursday, so you guys will get Crash episode 4 on Thursday, and then I have a long fucking weekend. I got the Boston Red Sox coming in Friday. I have a doubleheader Saturday, so there might not be no podcast next Saturday. There might not be no podcast next Saturday. There might not be even no episode next Saturday. And then Sunday, I have Sunday Night Baseball with the Red Sox, and then the Yankees go back on the road. So from there you go. Tomorrow, for episode 44 of the podcast tomorrow, it will be up around 4 p.m. in the afternoon tomorrow because I work Sunday morning. Because I work tours for Sunday morning. So I'll probably be home by like 3:30. I apologize. From 3:30. I mean, if you guys want to check out Raw Review, it's live on the channel right now. Anyways, so here's my schedule for tomorrow and next week. Tomorrow, you guys will get episode 44 of the podcast tomorrow, depending if there's any more news. Monday, you guys are definitely getting Raw Review Monday. Monday, you'll definitely get Raw Review. Tuesday, then, depending, there could be a SmackDown review Tuesday. There could possibly be a SmackDown review on Tuesday. Possibly. Wednesday, I'm going to give you guys NXT review Wednesday because I work in the afternoon. So I'll be back home just in time for NXT. Thursday is my day off because Boston has to travel here. Thursday, you guys are going to get episode 4 of Crash Team Racing, Road to Glory. Friday, you guys are going to get the podcast for episode 45 on Friday. There might not be episode 46 next week, next Saturday. There might not be no episode 46 next week because next Saturday, which is the 3rd, which is my 4th year anniversary with Jessica, I have a doubleheader to work next Saturday. I have a doubleheader to work with the Red Sox. So I'm going to be at the stadium literally all day on next Saturday on the 3rd. And on top of that, I can't even celebrate my fucking 4-year anniversary with Jessica. I can't because I have work. So I can't. And then Sunday, I have Sunday Night Baseball, and I'll give you guys episode 40. As a matter of fact, I'll give you guys episode 45 next Friday and episode 46 next Sunday. So there is no podcast next Saturday. Just for a heads up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video all over social media. We'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 44 of the Reality Podcast. Until then, I am Chris. Talk to you guys later.